Greetings. I'm doing a very quick video just to let you know that I'm going to be doing a thorough video about the number 13 um, this evening. Just getting a little bit more information just to decipher and just organize it for you. But really quickly, if anybody's want to ask the question, they want to ask, well, why me? Why this guy Santana? Now, if anyone wanted to ask the question, you're gonna have people have different thoughts, but it's simple, but it's not simple at the same time. But in a nutshell, it's because of my name and my birthday. More importantly, my birthday. My birthday is 11/11/73. Um, the reason why they chose me and the reason why these things are happening to me and allowed to happen so publicly is because the plan is because of my date of birth. They basically trying to get me to kill myself by stealing my money and poisoning my children and breaking my ribs and trying to murder me, taking everything from me. They're trying to get me to kill myself because they need this special date. My birth date is why. So this was done before. If anyone is interested, no one really studies or looks at anything, but if anyone has 10 minutes to take time out their life, they can look and see there was a situation that took place about 40 years ago. A gentleman by the name of Charles Manson. His birthday was November the 12th. His birthday was the day after my birthday. That's why he was chosen. He didn't have the right date. He was one day off. And if you look at the Charles Manson case, you're going to find that Charles Manson never ever received the ability to defend himself. So literally, this man stayed in prison for more than 40 years and never ever got a chance to put on defense. And this was done very, very publicly, and no one came to defend him to say, hey, wait a minute, as an American, the foundation of America is due process, and you're allowed to defend yourself. And this was an American citizen who was placed in prison for more than 40 years and wasn't allowed to defend himself. So because he was disliked, everything was allowed to happen to him, and all the rules were allowed to be suspended because they disliked Charles Manson. But if you look at the Charles Manson case, you're going to find out that he should have never been in prison. And the people in America all sat by and watched him stay in prison for 40 years because it just didn't like him. But they never allowed him to defend himself. Now, you could say, well, he didn't deserve to defend himself. If that's your opinion, that's fine. But I want you to ask yourself a question. If the state has such an airtight case where they know you did something, then why don't they let you just go ahead and defend yourself? Well, the reason why they didn't is because they didn't. And they held that man in prison for 40 years knowing full well that they couldn't have tried him in the court of law and ever received a guilty verdict in the court of law if he was allowed to defend himself. But I want you to understand that I'm not discussing whether he's guilty or innocent. That's not my issue. My issue is in America, you're supposed to have due process and supposed to be allowed a day in court, and he never received that. I want you to understand that Charles Manson was placed in handcuffs for 20 years straight. So I want you to explain to you again that he received handcuffs. He was wearing handcuffs for 20 straight years. Even when he was in his cell, he was sleeping. He did not take his handcuffs off for 20 straight years. That's torture. And if you're American, you're supposed to be against torture. But all Americans watch this man not receive his due process and be handcuffed for 20 whole years. Man, 5'7", 140 pounds. You mean he has to be in handcuffs while he's sleeping for 20 whole years and he hasn't had a trial? So I want you to understand that the reason why California is in the algorithm, California is going to fall off the map just because of the deeds of just one character, Charles Manson. I'm not saying he's a hero. I'm simply saying that this was a miscarriage of justice, and California is going to burn because of it. They put in place the energy and the power for destruction just alone with the Charles Manson case. If you look at the dates, you're going to find out there's a very particular dates coming up that coincides with this trial. In terms of myself, I have the better date. I have the perfect date. It's 11/11. I'm the balance. So what they try to do for me was they're trying to first, I don't know if you're aware of the entire story, but they poisoned both of my children. Two of my children are brain dead. All of my money was stolen. Three of my properties burnt down. There's been two assassination attempts on me. And in Brownsville, Texas, I had the FBI and the police following me everywhere. That's why I have over 30 different videotapes of myself driving around to the FBI office every day. In Brownsville, Texas, I go to the FBI office before I go to any place, before I go to the gas station, before I go to Walmart, anywhere, so I can document and timestamp my time. Because in Brownsville, they was actually trying to set me up for a crime because they're trying to get me in prison, hoping that I would kill myself. And I didn't, for a while, killing myself was an option initially when my children were poisoned. But then I realized that they're just trying to get me to kill myself. So right now, the plan is just to starve me out and make sure that I don't have any money to feed myself, to frustrate me, but they're trying to get me to kill myself. But that's not going to work. I promise you, I'm not killing myself for nothing. Vengeance. Vengeance. There's some, listen, when you poison someone's baby, there's nothing they can't do to you. That's the rule. The new golden rule is this. When you poison someone's baby, there's nothing that can't be done to you when you poison someone's baby. So that's how I feel about things. There's nothing on this plane or any other realm that can't be done to you when you poison a baby. That's my opinion. I'm gonna die with that, but not by my own hands. So I will not be doing what they want me to do and kill myself. They're out their mind with that one. I got some things I got to get done first. That's some people that need to be dealt with first. So this is why me. They're making it look like racism because everything's going to look like racism, but they're only using racism just as a tool. So remember, that's just a tool. My race has nothing to do with this. So, and though it looks like that, my race has nothing to do with this. It's my birthday. 11/11/73 is a very special day. And you go back to Charles Manson, it's 11/12. And the problem with Charles Manson is Charles Manson played the devil's game, so he was able to get caught in the devil's system. Well, I didn't play the devil's game. I've been a straight arrow. I didn't play the devil's system. So the devil cheats because the devil's the devil. But understand, the whole plan was to try to get me to kill myself. That's not going to happen. I got too much living to do. I got twins. I'm not killing nothing. I'm all about love and life and living. I'm all about explaining that this number 13 pattern explains how this whole thing ends, but it ends with us winning. And understand that I'm not talking to 20 million people. I'm only talking to one person. Only one person I'm talking to, and you know who I'm talking to. And as soon as you do what you're supposed to do and you just be brave and stand up on your truth, this process will be over. So the watchers, I don't care about the other people who are watching and who are too cowardly to stand up for what's right and know something's coming for them. I'm talking to you. Just do the right thing. Do it tomorrow, and this is over the following day. But as for the rest, I just want to explain to you that these things with the number 13 are not coincidences. There was a gentleman by the name of Martin Luther King. You're going to find that he was the leader of the organization for 13 years before his assassination. Of course, it's a coincidence. Same way that there's a gentleman by the name of Malcolm X, who was the leader of his association for 13 years before he was assassinated. Ain't that weird? Keeping Up the Kardashians was canceled and started over after 13 years. That's weird. Wendy Williams canceled after 13 years. That's strange. Santana, Can You Dig It? 13 years in the prison system. It's got canceled. None of this is connected. Of course, none of this is connected. Well, for you buffoons out there who think you're smarter than everybody else and think you're smarter than me, you're not. None of you are. But for the ones who want to understand how this is going to go down and when it's going to go down and when the event's going to take place, I'm going to get into it this evening with Raphael to walk it through so I can give you some pictures and some graphs and some dates. But the plan was to treat me like Charles Manson. Unfortunately, because I didn't pick up any negative vibrations on my journey, I wasn't able to be connected to their system. So that's the reason why they kept arresting me. Remember, I was arrested 7 separate times. In 1 month period, I was arrested 5 times in 2 weeks. And I keep being released because there's nothing. I'm doing nothing. I have done nothing. But they're just trying to get me in the system. But because I remain on my path, they haven't been able to ensnare me with their system. So that's the reason why they try to murder me. That's the reason why I've been arrested so many times. That's the reason all my money's been stolen. They're trying to frustrate me in front of everyone because everyone gets to laugh. Because remember, I was the rich one. I was the rich one who had everything. So everyone around who had less than me gets to laugh at me because I don't have anything. And they want to think that I'm going to be shameful for that. I'm not shameful for any of these things because I felt my truth in this process. And my truth is way more valuable than all the physical things that I once had that I was giving away, which is hilarious. Everyone's laughing that I have nothing while I was giving it away. Like, look at yourself. Like, literally, I'm giving away all of my worldly possessions to the world because it makes better. And our government decided that because it was helping other people and it knew the strength of helping other people, the people who know that I'm giving everything away to make other places are rich are happy because I have nothing now. It's the most hilarious thing you can imagine. But nonetheless, I'm not killing myself, not at all. I am sitting back here waiting for the event. Because once the event happens, the little things that confine me to this little box, this little mini mansion that I live in, these things that confine me to this, I'll be able to move freely. You won't. But we'll get into this evening after I give me some rest. But I'm sticking around for a while.